So I want to show you guys another auction that I did. So again, this was an online auction, and it was only, I believe it was on for only like 4 days, and it was in my area. So it was one of those where I was looking through the listings and watched it, and at 8 o'clock at night I was going through and bidding. The one thing that was really interesting about the auction is you have all these different things that you're watching, but in the end you have to bid on them all at the same time. And some other people might be bidding as well. And if you bid before the 2 minutes, then if your bid doesn't get canceled or someone doesn't go in front of you or bid over you, then you're fine. But every time you start going and adding a bid after the 2 minutes, so as it's counting down, it adds time. So you're going through and you're bidding on these items, and if you have a bunch of different items, it's hard to keep track of it because they're all ending at the same time. So this was one of those cases where I was looking at a couple different things, and by the time it boiled down to it, there's really only 2 big things that I was watching. And so I was lucky that the lot that I ended up winning was a set of dishes, and it wasn't the whole set. It was basically 3 teacups, 3 saucers, and then 2 dessert bowls. But I was really excited because I won this lot for $6. So if you look, beautiful work, no chipping, perfect condition. Excuse me. So perfect condition. And then when I looked up this particular maker, I was pretty happy to see that it actually does pretty well. Some of their stuff can go up into the hundreds of dollars per teacup, but for this particular set, which is the England Mandarin set, it looks like it's about $30 a teacup, and that's for resale on like reproductionsLDT.com, I think is what their initials are. But you know, they're going to be more the higher end. They've got the storefront, they've got the audience, so I'm not going to expect those prices. But looking at the detail and the fact that there's the teacup set, as well as having a couple of these dishes, so like a dessert plate, for example. So this guy is probably like 8 or 9 inches, but it's just beautiful. The scalloped work, and I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's got this nice little raised edge all the way around. So the craftsmanship is just exquisite. Really vibrant colors. Again, it was one of those where I was bidding on it, and it was a really happy surprise to go by and actually pick up these dishes and see how beautiful they were. Maybe kind of rethink if I wanted to sell them or not. But so that was one that we got. And then the other auction lot that I was watching, I was really excited about this. It was a lot of baby stuff. So they did as a handmade dress, a baby blanket, a couple of Gerber's onesies that had never been worn tie-dyed, and then a bassinet Moses basket cover. So if you look, all this stuff when I went and picked it up was actually in dry cleaner bags. So the detail in this Moses basket cover is just beautiful. So it's got eyelet all the way around. And then on the inside, it's got kind of a quilted edge. And then of course, you've got the part that goes down into the Moses basket. And then it came with this as a piece of wool. So there is some staining on it. I am gonna try to put that in the wash and see if we can't get rid of that. It doesn't look too terrible. It probably looks worse on the camera. And I think I'm gonna try to get that out. One thing I did notice on here though is that we did have a couple holes. It looks like it got snagged either on the bed or maybe in something that they had put in while they were carrying it around, or maybe something hot because it's a little melted. So I do have some plans for this. I bid on another auction for a Moses basket, and it's vintage, antique, beautiful. So I'm going to do a whole other video of what I want to do and how I was going to kind of merge these 2 things together and kind of get you guys' opinions, see what you think. So this was just one of the things from the baby lot that I picked up. The other thing was here, just a simple knitted baby blanket, or crocheted Not 100%. I don't know exactly what kind of pattern this is. My mom does a lot of knitting. I'm gonna ask her, but it's been protected. It's been in a bag. Apparently it got dry cleaned. So this was one of the other things that were in the lot. But this is what made me so excited. So in this box, the lady actually had gotten the outfit taken care of professionally, so it's been sitting, and this is the handmade item. And when I finally got it, which is what I was expecting or suspecting from the pictures in the auction online, it is a heirloom dress. So if you look, you can see all this hand sewn tucks. You've got your vintage heirloom lace. Typically these are made with linen. Up at the top, you've got your probably French silk. And again, all of this just intense, I think it's nip and tuck throughout the collar. The buttons on the back, they look to be like mother of pearl. I don't know if you can see that very well, but we've got the mother of pearl, and then it's pretty big. I mean, or pretty long, not big. So it's not a baptismal gown. This was actually something that I have a friend down in Statesboro, Peaches Barnes. She makes handmade heirloom dresses, and her stuff is exquisite and beautiful. And this is along those lines, and I know her price point, so I'm just floored that I was able to pick up this whole baby lot for $5. So looking at this particular dress, it also came with the slip. So again, it's got those matching buttons, and then it's got the lace long. So it's the slip and the dress. And again, being heirloom quality, I'm going to talk to Peaches Barnes, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be something that I'm going to try to resell at minimum $90. Because again, depending on the materials, so whether it is linen versus cotton versus French silk and the mother of pearl, all these things add to the sustainability. So when they say heirloom, they're talking about being able to pass this down from generation to generation. And the quality that these kinds of garments are made are exquisite, and it's something that you pay a lot of money for. So the fact that I was able to stumble across this in an auction for $5 just blew my mind. You can even see inside there's a tag where it was actually made for somebody. So I'm not sure how well that reads, but it just says Nancy, April 27th, 1998. So this was probably the maker's tag of who it was made for when it was made, which gives me an idea. I mean, it's perfect white. The lady who owned it before had it put in a special box with special tissue paper to make sure that it wouldn't stain. And there's no way this was staying in an attic. I don't see any yellowing. I don't see any deterioration. The preservation on this is just beautiful. So yeah, this was an incredible find. I've got a couple more lots from online auctions that I've been doing, so stay tuned and we'll do some more.